Last class we had discussed the crystal diode, how crystal diode is used for rectification or converting AC into DC. The property, the main important property of the diode of conducting current only in one direction permits the diode to be used as rectifier in the rectifier circuits. There are two types of rectifiers that we have to see: half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Okay, so what is rectification? Conversion of AC into DC. And there are two types of rectification process: the half wave rectification and full wave rectification. Okay, in half wave rectification, the rectifier conducts current only during the positive half cycles of the input AC supply. Negative half cycles are suppressed. What that means is, during negative half cycles, no current is conducted and hence no voltage appears across the load or the voltage across which we take the voltage or the output, that is the load. So the load will be passing current, or current will be passing through the load during positive half cycles, and during negative half cycles no current will be passing. So this is the circuit that we are going to use for half wave rectification. We see AC power supply here. This is a transformer. This is the secondary. This part is the secondary of the transformer, from which we take the voltage. Okay, and this is the input voltage of the rectifier. Okay, so this part is the rectifier part. This is the input to the rectifier. So the Vin is the input voltage to the rectifier, and we have a diode here and a load RL across which we take the output, the voltage. So the waveforms are shown here. Vin, this is the input voltage. Okay, the voltage that is appearing here, it will be of this shape, and V out, the voltage output across the load RL, it will be of this shape. See, during positive half cycles, voltage appears across RL, but the negative half cycles are suppressed. Negative half cycles are suppressed, and so the current will be flowing like this. We see in negative half cycles there is no current because there is no voltage. So what are the circuit details? A simple thing: the AC supply to be rectified is applied in series with the diode and load resistance RL. Okay, it is there. Now we see the AC supply that is given through a transformer. As we said, it is given through a transformer. We step down. Normally we will be stepping down the voltage, because in the power supply the voltage across the diode, that should not be too high, so we have to step down. In the power supply we will be getting 230 volt. This is a big voltage which cannot be directly applied to the diode because that will damage the diode. So we step down the voltage, we reduce the voltage, and the transformer also allows the isolation of the rectifier circuit from the power line, and thus reduces the risk of electric shock. Okay, the transformer is providing the isolation. So whatever high voltage, high current that will not affect the rectifier circuit. So why we are using the transformer? It has two advantages. The use of transformer has two advantages. One, it allows to step up or step down the AC input voltage, okay, as the situation demands. Then it isolates the isolates the rectifier circuit from the power line, reducing the risk of electric shock and the damage of the rectifier circuit. Now the operation. It's very simple. The AC voltage across the secondary winding AB changes polarities after every half cycle. Okay, during positive half cycle, what happens? The end A. See, this is end A, and this is end B. During positive half cycle, this becomes positive and negative, and the conventional current flows in this direction. And we know the arrow is now in the same direction as that of the conventional current. So a current flows through the diode. During negative half cycles, what happens? This end becomes negative and this end becomes positive. And the conventional current tries to flow in this direction, but it is against the direction of this arrow. So that means it is reverse biased. Okay. So the idea is this: during positive half cycle, A becomes positive, B becomes negative. During negative half cycle, A becomes negative and B becomes positive. Okay. And during negative half cycle, no current flows through the load RL, no current flows, and we will not be current across the RL. That will be suppressed, and we will be getting current only during the positive half cycles. Okay, so this is how it works. During positive half cycle, this is happens. This is happening. The diode is forward biased and it conducts current. During negative half cycle, the diode is reverse biased and it conducts no current. Okay. So the output across RL is now a pulsating DC. You know, a diode, crystal diode, that will give you a pulsating DC. Okay, because as we look at the output, we can see it is increasing, decreasing, then there is no current for some time, then again it increases, decreases, no current for some time, increases, decreases. So this is kind of, pulses, pulsating DC. The real DC, it is a straight line. Okay, the real DC is a straight line. Okay. So pulsations are there, and it can be smoothened with the help of filter circuit, that we will learn how filter circuits can be used to smoothen the pulsations, so that we get a almost straight line DC. Okay, so that is it. Now let's do some calculations. An important parameter associated with the rectifier is the efficiency. Okay, it's efficiency. When we study the rectifier, the first thing that we want to know is the efficiency of the rectifier. And it is the ratio of the DC power output to the applied input AC power. Okay, ratio of DC power output to the input AC power. That is the eta. So here we have the voltage and the current. This is the input voltage appearing across the secondary. This is the secondary of the transformer, VM side, that is applied to the diode. Okay, here instead of time we are using the angle, because for calculation purposes we actually need theta. Okay, so here we have 0 to one time period. During one time period, from here to here, the theta changes from 0, pi by 2, pi, 2 pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, and then 2 pi. Okay, so in angle also we can say, and output, what we get is we are getting only positive half cycle. So we have current or voltage for angle 0 to pi, then from 2 pi to 3 pi, like that. Okay. So suppose that RF, small RF is the diode forward resistance, and RL is the the load resistance. So RF is the diode resistance and RL is the load resistance. Current flowing through load RL, that is given by equal to Vm by RF plus RL. RF is the diode resistance and RL is the load resistance. Okay. Now the average current, the DC current, for calculating the DC power output, we need DC current. So that is actually the average current. Here, when you take the current, we see if you are taking 0 to 2 pi, there is current only from 0 to pi. Okay, and there is current only from 0 to pi. From pi to 2 pi, this is 2 pi, the current is 0. And in the interval 0 to pi, the current is not steady. It's not a fixed current. The current is actually varying like this. Okay, 0 to pi, the current is varying like this. It increases, its magnitude increases, decreases to 0, right? So what we need is average current. So what is the average current? That is what we look for. So that is given by I average, that is I DC, that is 1 by 2 pi, integral 0 to pi I sin theta. Here the I is Vm by Rf plus RL, when the current is passing, when the diode is forward biased, that is positive half cycle. The current is given by Vm by Rf plus RL, sin theta d theta. Here the limits are from 0 to pi, because we know the current exists only from 0 to pi. From pi to 2 pi it is 0. So that's why we have the limits from 0 to pi, and we have Vm. This is Vm. M is missing here. Vm 2 pi Vm over 2 pi into Rf plus RL, integral 0 to pi sin theta d theta. As you integrate this, you will be getting this minus cos theta. The limits are 0 to pi, and as you apply the limits, you will be getting 2 here. Okay, you will be getting 2, and this 2 that will get cancelled with this 2, and what you are going to get is this Vm by Rf plus RL into 1 by pi. And if you are writing this as Im, the maximum current, then we have this IDC, the average current IDC, as equal to Im by pi. Okay, so PDC, that is given by Im by pi whole square into RL. So this is PDC, the DC power input. The the DC power output. This is the DC power output. The AC power input, that is given by again the equation I square R for power, I square R for power, and here the I is IRMS. For half wave rectified case, this IRMS is given by Im by 2. Okay, IRMS, that is given by Im by 2. RMS is the root mean square current. It represents AC current, and that is given by Im by 2. We are writing this without any derivation. We are straightforward. We are taking it directly, Im by 2. So PAC, that is given by Im by 2 whole square Rf plus RL. So we have the AC power input, and previous section we calculated the you know DC power output. Okay, DC power output. Okay, because we are considering the output as the DC. What we require from the rectifier is DC. Okay, so the DC power output comes here. So the rectification efficiency, the DC output power by AC input power, you just divide this by this, and you cancel Im square, and what you are getting is this 0.406 RL, RF plus RL, which is 0.406, 1 plus small rf by RL. If you divide both numerator and denominator by RL, it will be 0.406 over 1 plus RF by RL. And the efficiency will be maximum when this RF is much less than RL, or if we can neglect this small RF. Okay, we are neglecting small RF. So the maximum rectification efficiency, that is given by 40.6%. So in half wave rectification, a maximum of 40.6 AC power is converted into the DC power. Okay, 40.6, that is the maximum efficiency that we can get if we neglect the resistance, the forward resistance of the diode. If this is neglected, this is 0, then you will have 0.406, that means 40.6%. Okay, so the maximum rectification efficiency for half wave rectifier is 40.6% only.